Donkey Kong Bonanza is an incredible game. That game is it's phenomenal. And the DLC, at first, I wasn't too much of a fan. I didn't think it was bad, but I wasn't like the biggest fan. But ever since they've been doing these events, I've been loving it. It's a ton of fun to just hop on, do the event, get the new statues, and yeah, I don't know. It's just fun to throw on and do that. And for how many events there have been, like they keep releasing 2 statues per event, and the events take like a month or so to come out. So it seems like there's going to be events for a while, or at least content to keep going back on for a while, if they're doing it like this slow. I mean, there's a chance that maybe we're not getting that many more trophies, but from the way that they're doing it, it seems like this is going to be going on for a while. There is, however, one thing that I noticed that I feel like is missing from this DLC, and I noticed it big time doing the event. So when I was doing the Lanky Kong and Chunky Kong event, I was not getting Lanky Kong first go. The first few times I did it, I did not hit 500,000. I wasn't even close to Lanky. And then I started looking up different things. I actually completely forgot that you could unlock things in it. I just thought you had to either find a banana that had a thing in it, or you just got the different perks or whatever. Totally forgot you could actually hit up on the D-pad and unlock stuff. So the whole spin jump thing, that would have helped me a lot. And I eventually realized to do that. But I eventually did get Lanky Kong. And when I did get Lanky Kong and I got over 1 million points, I couldn't help but feel that this DLC is lacking something. And it's something that some people, like this conversation, some people are like, dude, this doesn't matter at all. I think some people can relate to this. I think it is missing a leaderboard. Whether it's just for friends at the very least, if not friends and worldwide. Because when I got over 1 million points, I couldn't help but feel I would have loved to have compared that to my friends. And especially with a mode like that, where sometimes you're on this freaking phenomenal run, where it would be like, you start getting the points. Did you start doing, when you're on a good run and you're doing the void goal things, sometimes those points are going up so much, you're like, I'm never going to get a run this good again. And it would be so cool to have that feeling. You ever do something and like, you cannot believe you achieved it in a game, and like, you can't wait, you can't get to your phone fast enough, or like your computer fast enough to type to someone to be like, dude, you're not gonna believe what I just did. That is the feeling that you could get from this mode. There are some runs that you do where you keep doing the void goals or whatever, and the score is going up and up and up so much, you're like, dude, this is freaking crazy. This is the run. This is the run, and I don't know if I'll ever do better than this. And it would be so cool to see how you stack up against other people. I could understand if they didn't want to have leaderboards for like every single individual level, like how there's like the difficulties. I think it goes through 1 through 7. I could understand them not wanting to have, leaderboards for each difficulty, but they could have set up something, even to where if it was just like per island, there was like competitive mode, and it's just like a standard difficulty, and you just go through it and just see what score you could get. Or they could even do it for these events. That would get me to, well, I don't know. I don't know how competitive, just to be totally transparent, I don't know how competitive I would get with this particular thing. I think it would be, just me seeing how high I could get while I'm trying to unlock all the statues. But if they did it with events like this, I could easily see people wanting to grind it out, because it would be like, okay, from this date to this date, this is the only time I have to try to get the run. And it would make watching streams a ton of fun too, because you'd always be like, man, are they on the run? Are they on the run? That would be a ton of fun. So they could even just have leaderboards just for the events. And then you'd be cemented in history. That's where the incentive would come in, because you would only have a limited time. So not only do you have a limited time to get the statues, but then you would have a limited time to see how high of a score you could get. And then that's it. It's cemented in history. You can go through, look through the different events and see where you stacked up during those events. And then it would like, already I don't want to miss them because I want the statues, but I would also not want to miss it because I'd like to be on that leaderboard. And I could easily see people wanting to climb that leaderboard. That sounds like something people would want to do. So I think it's just a shame overall in general that a mode that is designed, which this is a complaint I have with Nintendo in general. A lot of times I feel like they just lack certain features that I feel like other companies' games would just have default. A big example would be Star Fox. The whole game is designed around topping your score, So I don't get why they don't have online leaderboards. Like, I really don't understand that. So with this DLC, the entire thing is based around trying to get a high score. Why there's no online leaderboard for no competition makes no sense. And I think I just said it out loud what the answer is. Nintendo is so weird about competition, but what doesn't make sense though is Mario Odyssey had a built-in leaderboard. That was a game where I would have never imagined it having an online leaderboard, and it did. For multiple things, the Koopa races, the jump rope thing, there were multiple things that had online leaderboards. So Nintendo was just super picky when it comes to having competitive stuff, not having competitive stuff, having certain features you'd expect a game to have, not having certain features you'd expect a game to have. It's just kind of a shame. I really wish Nintendo would just kind of like jump in and just let us go all out with this stuff. It would just make it more fun, and we'd get more money's worth, and they could still, charge their, high prices, and we'd at least get more money's worth out of it. I don't understand, but like, if you just remove the like no competition argument, because again, Mario Odyssey having it, don't really understand why other games don't. I don't know if it's just that like, it's just an oversight. Like they just don't think of it. I don't know if that's what it is, but it doesn't really make sense. The inconsistencies don't make sense. And I don't think it's really a hard feature to add. And like I said, if they don't want to have it for all the difficulties or whatever, they could have it like be a base thing where it's like each, layer has its own like competition mode. And then they also could have just done it with the events. I think it would have added more to the events. I think it would have added more to people wanting to jump in and like be competitive, play it more. That's the thing. You unlock the statues. Why would you play it more? Because I want to say if you get all the statues in the event, like the 1,000,000 point reward, pretty sure you always get a V rank. I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure. So once you get that V rank, that's it. Like there's really no other reason to do it unless if you just wanted to beat your own score. And some people could argue that that could be fun, but I feel like, that was something that we used to do back in the day. We have the option now with the tech we have to not have it be just that. That's what I don't like, is just have it. It's kind of like achievements. I've always felt that it's kind of a shame that Nintendo doesn't have achievements. Like they're just a fun thing to do. I feel like there's just things that they could just add that just makes it more fun. So I don't really see the harm in having leaderboards. I think it would add more to Kong Bananza's DLC. I still think it's fun. I've been jumping on the events, really changed my tune on this because like I said, I didn't think the DLC was bad, but I wasn't really too into it. But I've been wanting to do each event. And when I finally did unlock Lanky, it felt good because I was failing the first few times. I didn't even hit 500,000. And then when I got Lanky, I was like, that felt good. So I don't know. I think it's just a missed opportunity. And I really just wish that Nintendo would just start jumping on board with some of this stuff. I just don't really see why they don't. If it's just the competition thing, that doesn't really make sense either because like I said, Mario Odyssey had leaderboard stuff. So I don't know. But that's it for this topic. Let me know in the comments down below if you wish Kong Bananza's DLC had leaderboards. Does it not bother you at all? Do you just like to grind it out anyway? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this discussion, don't forget to like the video. If you want to stay up to date with my videos, don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to join the Marts in Discord, consider becoming a channel member. And until next time, I'll see you all later. Take care, everyone.